welcome to episode 15 of No Traps, No Glory. Today we are in beautiful Fairlawn, New Jersey, outside of BRC Day Spa, and today's show is going to be all about recovery and what you need to do in order to be able to recover so that way you can train harder, and especially for those competing in the New York State Championships, how a proper protocol of recovery leading up to the competition will lead to hopefully a good competition. Let me tell you, there's absolutely nothing better for recovery than the steam room. Dilates the pores, it relaxes the body, relaxes the mind. As you can see, I don't even know what to say right now, but I'm saying it, and it's good. It's probably one of the hottest saunas here. And it melts you senseless. And let me tell you, as these guys would probably tell you, it gets the blood flowing, gets the muscles loose, and heals the body up. And there's no better way to follow it up than with this guy right here. A little bit of contrast goes a long way. And even when my back was bothering me, doing the contrast between the hot and the cold, it made such a difference. It somehow expands, contracts everything, and it's awesome. You end up sleeping like a baby. I know tonight I'm going to be passed out, unconscious, at 9 o'clock, probably for 12 hours, which would be another 9 o'clock, so that's 12 hours of sleep. And it helps you sleep better, which is necessary for recovery. Okay, episode 15 of No Traps, No Glory rolls on. We've come from multiple scenes, or shall I say, I'm looking for a word. I'm blanking on a word right now. Locations, thank you. That's a simple one. Multiple locations thus far. We started off at BRC. Excuse me. A couple, what do you call it? Different sauna previews that we gave to everybody. Now we are in the the humble abode of our venerable producer. So as you can see, I can't think clearly due to the rugged sauna session that I rigorously put myself through. But I feel relaxed. I feel ready for bed. I feel like I'm going to get some great sleep tonight and recovered. So then that way, this upcoming week, I could hit the weights hard, I could train well, and then hopefully continue to make progress. And going into, let's say, a lot of things going on. Obviously, state championships, as I believe I mentioned earlier, my own training. And with that, let's say they're all stressors on the body. There's a lot that I have to go through with my training. And at the same time, there's a lot of details, information, things I have to do, organization for the state championships. So I need to make sure that I take the proper accords in order to allow myself to, one, recover properly, but also to, which is part of recovery, to relax and de-stress, so that way all of the buildup and the activities that I'm going through, my body can slow down and get to a point where it can kind of mellow out a little bit and maintain mitigate some of the stress hormones and stressors that go onto it, because ultimately there's going to come a point where you burn out. And let's say there are a lot of people training, let's say some of you perhaps even training for state championships. It's important to balance your recovery with your training in every other aspect of life. And as Klokov, or Uncle Dmitry, as we affectionately refer to him as your training is only going to be as good as your recovery. And most people spend so much time doing that recovery is not looked at as a part of training, but more or less just when they get time, then they'll sleep more if they have time, they'll get a massage if they have time. But it's equally, if not more important, because if your body's not recovering, you're not going to make the progress you need. And in the long run, you're going to end up burning yourself out and then end up spinning your wheels and getting nowhere than being frustrated for the fact that, oh man, I'm not going anywhere doing anything. And as an example, I think how many times have people either taken off from training or went on vacation, whatever, work got busy, they took time off or there was time away from the weight room, and all of a sudden they come back in, they feel better than ever, they may even get close to a record or make a record after not training for X period, and that's because they allowed time for their body to recover. So for those going into state championships, especially my lifters, anybody else, it's a point of time coming out of the summer. I know some people, the state championships at the end of September, a lot of people take vacations in summer and be able to rest and recover and what have you, but there are also those who continue to train hard and push and train hard and push and train hard and push. And I think it's a good thing for you to be able to back down and do something leading up, especially in the weeks preceding the competition, to allow your body to relax, absorb, adapt to the training that you've put it through, so you can adapt to the stimulus that you're applying to yourself, so that way by the time you go to compete, your mind is fresh, your body's fresh, and you can have good results. So even as an example for that, and a very interesting approach, and let's say last week? I don't know. About a week or so ago, we went to Germany, went on a nice trip there, but prior to me going, I was almost a little trepidatious because training was going very well. Everything I was doing, body felt great, everything felt great. I mean, I was getting good rest, but I mean, only about a few weeks prior to that, I had just competed, and I didn't take any time off whatsoever. So I was speaking with the champ. For those who don't know the champ, that's John Tolo, and John's a lifelong athlete. He's competed in very high levels in track and field. He's at a high master's level in weightlifting. And I was just telling him my situation and thoughts on that, and he referred to me something that I actually forgot of, but the great weightlifting legend Tommy Kono had said it may be counterintuitive, but there are times where even though if you're feeling great in training, you're better for taking some time off, as much as that may not make sense, because obviously you may be doing well, but there's always going to be a downslope, and maybe that's indicative of a time to let your body rest a little bit more, so that way you can come back, adapt, and be able to make more progress in the long term. So that's the approach I took, and so far so good. I feel great. Took a little time off. I didn't do any training when I was away. Came back, got right back into it. Now just start building things up. But again, going to state championships, I'm probably working equally as hard as everybody else is going to be competing in it. One, I'm, like I said, still training, and two, I'm organizing. So as you saw in our earlier clips and heard, we went to the sauna, and I think the sauna is one of the best ways to help recover. It helps relax you physically, mentally. It takes you out of the normal life of things. There's less distractions. I prefer to leave my phone in the car, in the locker, so that way I don't have it, and I could just be present with where I am at the moment. Also, too, in the sauna, you don't want to take your phone in with you. You don't want to melt the thing down or fry the circuitry or whatever, so you're left sitting there feeling what's going on in the room, the intense heat, how your body's reacting to it, and sweat pouring out of you, juice is flowing, it's delicious, and then it's a very good feeling afterwards, like I am right now. I'm ready to pass out, and I can't wait to go to bed later. And ultimately, even if the sauna per se doesn't necessarily help you recover, if it relaxes you that much more, gets you ready for bed, and you're able to sleep, like I'll probably do sleep 10 hours, 12 hours tonight. Sleep is ultimately what's the most important. So a lot of people, actually going into sleep component, a lot of people neglect sleep. I can only do 6 hours, only do this. Maybe I can, all right, some people lucky enough to get 8 hours a night, but it's also the quality of the sleep that you get. And if you have a lot of stressors affecting you, things that are detracting, if you're not sleeping as deeply, you could lay in bed for 10 hours, but if you're not sleeping that time, you're not getting the rest you need. And that's why I'm a big proponent and advocate of the sauna, because I think it really helps bring your body down, helps you sleep much better, much deeper, more sound, and that's ultimately where your recovery comes in. So outside of food, outside of massage, sleep, sauna, those are the biggest things, and I advocate that equally as much. So let's say, I said this way back when in one podcast, that I believe it's something along the lines, I can't remember where I heard this from, for every hour that you train, you need to spend 2 hours recovering, whether that be, I don't know how they quantify it, but sleeping, sauna, food, so that way, and massage, so that way your body can recover effectively and quicker, so that way you adapt better your training. So that being said, going to state championships, we're finishing the start list this week. Should be out maybe even by the time this episode comes out. But looks to be a lot of great lifting, a lot of lifters from all over the state, all this bunch of teams from all over the state, obviously. Um, I think it's going to be a very good event. It's going to be 2 days. We have our wonderful sponsors, Floorcraft Carpet Warehouse, Athena CBD products, No Matter What Apparel, Aleco with awesome bar, and I'm bringing a nice platform for everybody to compete on. Who else? Who else? We also have Everyday Lifters. Naturally, she's been a great help. Viv's been doing tons of stuff to keep me organized in the ways that I'm not organized. HTI Visions, providing some camera and internet stuff for the meet. Hopefully we'll be able to go through them for the live feed. Badaktari Realty for providing a great space. Everyone in the Metropolitan LWC, like Chris Smith, the president, Jeff, those guys have been a great help. And oh, that I can't forget that. I mean, that was going to be last but not least. The Institute of Heavy Training, Mark Chasnoff. He's been a great help to all of us. He's bringing some rubber mats that we have, helping with just his expertise throughout the whole thing. So it's been a tremendous amount of help that we've had also too. Death Wish Coffee is going to be providing some coffee to people because everyone loves coffee. And what is it? Apex Fitness. I'm sorry, Apex Fitness in Cross River for football training. They train a lot of youth people, or youths. So youths. So we got a ton of people on board. I'm really looking forward to the competition being a good one. My good friend Brian over at Griffin Strength, he's going to be lending a hand with tons of stuff. He's been a great help so far. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. And make sure you get your rest, get your recovery. I'm going to bed. Good night.